is the best MOC toe boots. G'day guys, this is Nick at Stridewise.com in Brooklyn, New York. On this channel, I look at men's boots and apparel that's built to last, and my God, it's a best video. If I can toot my own horn, I really do know quite a lot about boots. I've made hundreds of videos about them, reviewed just about all of them, although I do have like about a dozen I need to get around to making videos about. None of them MOC toes though. Today, I'm doing the best MOC toes I've ever set my eyes on. The 5 best. We're talking the best overall, best value, the toughest, and more. MOC toes, by way of introduction, of course, it's short for moccasin because the toe box stitching draws its inspiration from the traditional footwear first worn by indigenous First Nation peoples. Today, MOC toe boots come in so many shapes and sizes that it is pretty hard to say they have any particular benefits or drawbacks as a whole. Because, you know, you got slim ones, you got chunky ones, you got wedge-soled ones, you got heeled ones, and so on. But generally speaking, people find the MOC toe construction to produce a boot that's more flexible and roomy than plain toe boots, generally speaking. Those qualities lend them to more like dynamic movement than your average plain toe, which is a reason you're very likely to see them on job sites as well. Let's not drag this out. The best MOC toe boot is the brass boot from Grant Stone. I'm gonna tell you a few reasons why this boot is everything you could want from a MOC toe, but extra, but like a level above. It's like a MOC toe plus plus. For starters, it is more versatile than other MOC toes. You'll notice that while it's still roomy, the toe box is actually less square and more round than most other MOC toes. So it's easy to dress up if you want to, but it's still great with a t-shirt like other MOC toes. MOC toes generally very, very casual kind of boot. Next is the leather. Grant Stone make their boots with the best, like some of the most highly regarded leathers in the game. This here is vegetable tanned leather from the famous Battlelassi Carlo tannery in Italy. 100% vegetable tan leather like this is very rare, very hard to make. It's a little harder to break in, but it lasts longer, it ages beautifully. This is the way leather was made thousands of years ago, like super rare, super worth it, but there are a ton of other leathers worth checking out as well. Like this has become, I think, Grant Stone's most popular boot given how many different leathers it comes in now. You can get it in a range of Chrome XLs, which is America's most beloved boot leather. It's 10 in Chicago. The very famous Wax Commander from Britain's CF Stead as well. Very primo leathers on the brass boot. Number 3, you get 2 different sole options, so you're not limited like you usually are to wedge sole or heel boot. Number 4, it's leather lined, which is very laborious and comfortable and unlike most MOC toes. Number 5, they're made with water-resistant Goodyear welts or even more water-resistant storm welts for some models. Number 6, they're made with a shank. Most people don't make MOC toes with shanks because the soles tend to be flat, like this. But I've heard guys say that the shank in here helps with stability and like it helps as the heel wears down. I could go on and on about this. I don't want to get too bogged down here. If you need convincing, check out my full review up there. It's superb. This boot is everything you want from MOC toe, but it's a level above. It's like a luxury work boot. It's the best of all worlds of MOC toes. Boom, that's the best MOC toe. The runner-up for best MOC toe is definitely the most iconic MOC toe on planet Earth, and it's cheaper than the brass boot, and unlike the brass boot, it's made in America. If that kind of stuff appeals to you, you simply must check out the Red Wing Heritage MOC toe. This is America in a boot. It's a hugely popular and influential MOC toe, and it deserves to be. In fact, this here was my very first Goodyear welted boot, my first big boy boot, but the 875 is the more popular one than this leather I got. Like this is the 8890 in charcoal leather, but the 875 is their most popular leather for this boot, so make sure you know your options. In fact, this boot comes in several leathers. It depends on what Red Wing is offering at the moment, but usually you can get this boot in black, red, blue, gray, brown, orange, usually whatever suits your style. And it's an incredibly stylish boot. It's a streetwear icon. It looks as good in Manhattan as it does on a job site. This boot has been an icon for like 70 years, really robust construction, resolable Goodyear welt, nice thick American-made leather, and somehow it's still under 300 bucks for a made in America boot. That's really, really good value. But it's not the best value MOC toe on the market. The best value MOC toe period, without a doubt, is the Diplomat from Thursday Boot Company, which is $199 for a Goodyear welted boot. And remember, that means it's resolable and water resistant and will last ages. It's truly insane to find a robust boot with a Goodyear welt, a leather welt, mind you, not a plastic one, for under 300 bucks, let alone under 200 bucks. It's also leather lined for extra comfort, which is yet another reason the price is bonkers, because I've made boots by hand before myself, and leather lining, it really does add a significant amount of extra work. And in addition to all that, It might be the most versatile mock toe, and I say that because like most of Thursday's boots, it has this kind of sleeker silhouette that makes it a lot more kind of modern than most mock toes. Like if you wear tapered jeans, or if you just are like a fashionable modern dude, like there's a chance that the generally blocky look of mock toes has turned you off of them. Thursday's design works really well for guys who don't have baggy or wide leg pants, but it also works well for people who do have baggier pants, right? Like I do think it's like super versatile, and honestly, you can wear it with more outfits, I think, than other mock toes, which further enhances the value, right? The Thursday Diplomat, under 200 bucks, ridiculous price. Best value mock toe in the game. The toughest mock toe, we're gonna go from the least expensive to the most expensive on this list so far. We're traveling up to the Pacific Northwest to look at NYX Handmade boots. This brand is a real institution in American boots and are known for really serious footwear. They outfit Pacific Northwest firefighters in fireproof boots, and they make boots for loggers and for linemen, and they use super thick leather and super robust hand-stitched construction, usually stitched down, sometimes Goodyear welt. Of course they're resoldable, and this is the kind of boot that will last you decades, plural, with resoles. The uppers can take just about anything. They're much thicker than any of the other boots here and than most boots you're gonna find. A bonus of this small and very hands-on company is that you also get to customize almost everything with your boot. So in addition to the leather, you pick the height of the boot, the kinds of eyelets, the pull tab, shaft height, edge color, heel profile. It goes on and on like that. So the upsides of NYX is that everything is so thick and well made, it'll probably last you the rest of your life. It's American made by master craftsmen, fully customizable, available in every width under the sun. If you get frustrated by having like wide or narrow feet, this is a great brand for you. And of course they're handsome as hell. The downsides are 4 to 6 months wait time to get them made. And of course they cost well over 550 bucks, maybe over 600 bucks if you want to get some rare leathers or like a touch like antique eyelets and things like that, right? But the boots will be very yours when you get them, and they might be the last boots you ever get. Lastly, to end this video with 5, I wanted to come up with the best dressy mock toe, like the best fancy mock toe, best for blazers and suit jackets, that kind of thing. Perhaps this doesn't make sense to you because mock toes are a very casual design, and if that's what you think, well, this pick might not make sense for you either, because the boot I picked, some would consider it not to be a true mock toe because the mock stitching is not holding 2 pieces of upper leather together. It's actually decorative. So it's like mock stitching. So is the brass boot actually, it's not that uncommon. But don't tell anyone. If you like having that mock style stitching, but you want something a bit dressier and a bit less roomy and more sleek than your standard options, I am so happy to tell you about the Alden Indy. This company has been making boots in New England since the 19th century, and as you can see, it's not a chunky work boot. The brand has a history of developing orthopedic footwear, so the way this boot is built is like famously comfortable and anatomically correct. Above all, this should have been the first thing I said, this is the boot that Indiana Jones wears in all of his movies. Harrison Ford wore them when he was working as a carpenter while trying to get his acting career off the ground. Apparently he's the one who insisted Indy wear this boot. So American craftsmanship, superb comfort, like anatomically correct comfort, and you get the right to tell everyone you're wearing Indiana Jones's boot. The downside, they're a good $600 plus. That's mostly the main downside, right? Because they're really good boots. They're just particularly pricey. But once you get it, the bragging rights are irreplaceable. So that's definitely a good thing. All right, those are my top 5 best mock toe boots on the market. I've worn a lot of them, but I got good news for you. If you want more options, in the article in the description below, I expanded this list with more picks and more runners up because I just didn't think this video should be any longer than it is. So check out the article below for more picks. I've got links to buy these boots in the description as well, or to shop them if you just want to check them out if you're convinced or curious. And subscribe to this channel too, man. I've got a ludicrous number of boots and well-made apparel, and I like spreading the word about the best stuff out there. So yeah, I hope to see you for the next video, and happy mock toeing.